act of violence may have destroyed our walls, but it has strengthened our inner core. Our slogan of measuring our success in heartbeats is now more than ever truer and with more meaning. Our clinic has always stood for something far greater than just science and medicine. We stand for the dreams of parents who have struggled, for the families who have fought tirelessly to bring life into this world, and for every single person who has walked through our doors with courage in their hearts and hope in their eyes. This act of violence was meant to instill fear and conducted out of sheer hatred for the very essence of what we strive for daily, to give hope. But what it ultimately did was the exact opposite. It ignited unity, resilience, and strength. We want to say this to our patients of the past, our current patients, and our future patients. We are here and we are not going anywhere. We will continue to fight with you and for you. To our incredible team of doctors, embryologists, nurses, staff, you are the heartbeat of this clinic. Your courage in the face of adversity has helped inspire us all. To the first responders, who I don't have enough words to muster our thanks and our heartfelt gratitude for, who took immediate action to ensure the embryos remained safe and put that in front of their own lives when they went in, not knowing if there was going to be a second or third explosion. We are indebted to you for your courage and your quick thinking. To our community, thank you. The outpouring of support, love, and strength you've shown us reaffirms what we already knew. We are united as one. To our amazing and wonderful Mayor DeHart, our city officials that are here with us today, the police, the FBI, who immediately offered full support, found us a temporary location immediately to resume our operation, and continuously continue to offer any help that we need. We thank you and we appreciate you beyond words. I'd also be remiss if I didn't also acknowledge and thank the surrounding IVF clinics who could be deemed as competitors, who've reached out and chose humanity and integrity over business and competition. Thank you for your continued support, local competition, and all of the IVF and fertility clinics around the country. Today, we reaffirm our mission to provide the highest quality fertility care in a safe, compassionate environment with the highest levels of quality, integrity, and service. We will rebuild, we will grow, and we will continue to help families grow also. We believe in miracles. We witness them every single day. And no act of hatred can stop us from bringing those miracles into this world. This year, we're proud to have our best success rates in the past 26 years of operation, and we will continue that very same mission. Beginning Tuesday, we will be seeing patients across the street at Al Mirador building in suites 301 to 303. And again, special thanks to the amazing city, the city council, who have helped us build and turn this around in a matter of hours. We are indebted to you for that. Although we cannot stop hatred or extremist ideologies, what we can do is continue to do what we've always done, to instill hope, happiness, and love into the families that have trusted us and brought us into their homes. I thank you all once again for attending, for all of your continued support, and I assure you, this is, as catastrophic as it is, as terrible as it is, we will bounce back from this. We will grow stronger than ever. Thank you. I would like to have the honor of bringing up our wonderful mayor, Mayor Ron DeHart, who's going to speak a couple of words also. Mayor?
Good morning, everyone. This morning I'm joined by our entire City Council. Our Mayor Pro Tem Naomi Soto's here, Councilmember Grace Garner's here, Councilmember Jeffrey Bernstein, and Councilmember David Reddy, along with our City Manager Scott Stiles. So we have a united front of support for what's going on this weekend and everybody who's been involved. My heart overflows with gratitude for Dr. Abdullah, a true champion for every family he serves in our community. Speaking with him over the weekend, I was profoundly moved to hear he was already tirelessly working to ensure his clients received uninterrupted care, demonstrating unwavering commitment to the families who bravely seek hope and new beginnings at the clinic. Thank you, Palm Springs, for being a place where such dedication thrives. Thank you for igniting hope in so many lives. Thank you for the deepest part of my being, for the courage that you have shown in standing steadfast against this unthinkable violence. The swift courage and response from our fire and police and emergency crews was nothing short of miraculous. Their virtual, instantaneous arrival from the moment of the blast filled our community with an overwhelming sense of reassurance, reminding us that we would indeed be all right. Their presence was a powerful testament to Palm Springs' unwavering preparedness, a resounding declaration that no one will ever stand in the way of our freedom and peace. My immediate thoughts, like I know many of yours, went to the precious embryos. When I learned our firefighters who bravely entered a compromised structure intentionally to safeguard the embryos, a true wave of calm and immense relief came over me. Later, when I got to talk to Dr. Abdullah, confirming that the embryos and incubators were safe and sound, I was truly brought to tears. This is a true testament to heroism that's incredible by our firefighters and public safety. We are pouring every ounce of our collective effort into working with the state, county, regional offices to bring every possible resource to bear, ensuring our small businesses and residents recover from this event with incredible speed and strength. I had a heartfelt conversation with State Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara, who immediately connected his office with our city staff to explore every avenue of support. Our dedicated economic development team was out here on the ground Saturday afternoon, personally collecting business contacts and meeting with those in the impacted area. They were offering comfort and support and checking on their well-being. Our building team, alongside with county officials, Cal OES, all compassionately toured the affected area, and they are diligently finalizing a list of impacted properties to fully understand the estimated cost of the damages. We are also tirelessly working with Cal OES, the county EMD, and our local team to determine the eligibility for the economic disaster loans that may be available through the SBA. We are bringing every available resource to our community. In the coming days, our City Council will be reviewing and approving vital support programs, including the creation of a disaster overlay zone to define the area with visible damage from the attack. This will allow businesses and property owners to be eligible for significantly reduced building permit fees, planning application fees, and potentially business license fees. We will also expedite the building permits, planning entitlements, and business license and inspection process to ensure smooth and swift recovery. Furthermore, the LGBTQ Community Center of the Desert will continue to provide invaluable community counseling, extending their compassionate support to all community members, employers, and employees who may desire it. Our community will forever remain the vibrant Palm Springs that the country loves. We offer a warm welcome, we embrace diversity, and we profoundly care about everyone around us. This act will not, and it cannot, and it will never deter us. Love always triumphs in Palm Springs, and our incredible community is showcasing its unwavering resolve, stepping up with open hearts and contributing to the Rebuild Palm Springs fundraiser, which will bring immediate and direct relief to those most impacted by the blast. Thank you, Dr. Abdullah, for your incredible leadership. Thank you to our brave police and fire departments, to the FBI, and most profoundly, thank you to Palm Springs for embracing one another with such boundless love and support.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd also like to bring up our next speaker, our Mayor Pro Tem, Ms. Naomi Soto.
Good morning, good morning. Today is the first of many good days that we need to feel in our city. Dr. Abdullah and his staff are staying here in Palm Springs for the American Reproductive Centers to continue their important, incredible work. Their work literally brings new life into this world, new life into our city. Their work creates our future residents, our future neighbors, our future community members. And we are so proud and so grateful that they have chosen to stay and will be continuing their work. As a city, we will continue to work closely with Dr. Abdullah and your whole team to do whatever it takes to make the transition as seamless as possible to going from a destroyed building to a new home, to providing immediate care for your patients. Dr. Abdullah's decision to stay here is monumental, and we are grateful for the speed of everyone who worked on this. From our economic development team, who was showing you sites and options, to the staff and administration at Desert Regional Medical Center, who did not hesitate to show Dr. Abdullah's space options, literally within, I think, a couple hours, to moving contracts in breathtaking speeds. This is work that is moving incredibly, incredibly fast, because we know at the center of it are patients and families that want to continue their care and need to. So thank you to everyone. On a personal level, as a mom of 2 small kids, I know many, many current and former patients of ARC who are breathing with can breathe with a bit more of a full heart to know that this city has their back. And just briefly to close, the decision to stay, to continue your work so immediately, is an act of courage. One of many acts of bravery that we've seen in the last few days, from our firefighters and police officers who ran towards the blast, from the firefighters who put out the fire, the public safety workers who saved the embryos and other reproductive materials. It took all of us to realize what at the center of this was the heart of Palm Springs. This is a healthcare block, right? There's medical offices surrounding us. We have to make sure that Palm Springs feels safe and everyone can deserve to get the care that they need. This weekend, hate failed. This week, hope wins. This community, as the mayor mentioned, is not broken, and we are more united than ever, and we'll do everything we can for this practice and for all the facilities nearby. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I would like to also bring a gentleman that I had just met a little while ago, who just by speaking with him you can distinguish his valor, his commitment to our community, and why the response was what it was. Our Chief of Police, Mr. Andrew Mills.
All right.
This is an amazing opportunity, Dr. Abdullah. Thank you so much to you and your staff for the commitment you have to our community. We have moved now from an incident containment problem to an investigation that is still ongoing, but more importantly, to now bring hope, as the Mayor Pro Tem said, to our community. Now is the time to rebuild, and Dr. Abdullah, you and your staff are a key element in that rebuilding process. Research shows that 23% of a community experience depression and PTSD after a mass casualty incident. Now is the time for us to bring that hope back, because love is alive in Palm Springs.
We have several council members here with us. One who we have the honor of speaking today, Council Member Jeffrey Bernstein, please.
Okay, well, there's not a lot I can add to the beautiful words of our mayor and Mayor Pro Tem and Police Chief. But what I do want to say is that when Palm Springs goes through difficult times, we truly see the best in our city come out. And you heard about the bravery of our police and fire, but what was so important was the sensitivity in which how they handled and spoke about the importance of this facility in our community. And that was recognized nationally. Our state and county and regional officials have been offering their support, knowing what a vital city Palm Springs is. As you heard, our economic development team has been out working with all of our businesses that have been affected by this and offering nonstop support. Our council and staff have risen to this occasion in a way that makes us all truly proud. And that's thanks to our police chief, our fire chief, our city manager, and every other employee of our city. You heard about a lot of the work that's going to be coming over the next few days and weeks to come. And our city will still continue to shine, and the best will continue to come out. As you heard, our LGBTQ Center will offer counseling and help, and they're actually one of the businesses that was hurt by this. They had 15 of their windows blown out from the blast. And while they seek to recover, they're offering their help to let the city recover. And most importantly through all of this is that our city came out in a way that's never been seen. It's almost something that we should not forget and we should remember forever, and how they came to assist Dr. Abdullah and his operation of the American Reproductive Center to transition to a new location where they can continue to serve our region with the important and hope-filled work they conduct for our community. They bring hope and life to so many. And when Palm Springs suffers hard times, it never ceases to amaze me how our community comes out to give life and new hope to all of us. Our community will continue to be a place that welcomes all and comes together in hard times. Thank you.
Before I do bring up Dr. Abdullah, if I could please ask our ARC staff to come up, all of our wonderful staff. If I can bring up all of our council members, all of our dignitaries, Mayor, Pro Tem Mayor, Chief of Police, if you can please come up. Please come up and join us on stage. This is the kind of support that this community has. From the moment that this incident happened, these are the men and women that have offered their unconditional support. The community of Palm Springs, people from all over the country have helped. I'm hesitant to say this, and I'm going to say it. Dr. Abdullah was supposed to be in that office. He was supposed to be sitting in that office at 11 o'clock. He had a meeting, and he ended up taking it on the road And that very blast site was where he was sitting. He is my business partner, but he is my best friend. He is my cousin. We grew up together. And it's common to have our staff working on Saturday, checking on the embryos, doing paperwork, preparing for the next week. It was an act of God that nobody was there. Not one of our staff showed up. The unfortunate mishap of the 4 or 5 individuals that were hurt, by the grace of God, they were released, and no major implications, no major injuries. So if there's anybody that should be remorseful, angry, upset, it would be Dr. Abdullah. But he reminded me of why he is who he is and what his leadership is. I was livid when this happened. First of all, after my shock wore down, I said, how could this happen? Who did it? How did it happen? I said, something has to be done. And he said, listen, you need to calm down, and this is all. Everything happens by the grace of God. Nothing is a mistake. This young man was misguided. I don't blame him. I forgive him. He asked me to reach out to his family and to pay for his funeral services. And I told him, you are such a better man than I am. But that tells you who Dr. Abdullah is, what life means to him, what this clinic that he's built over the past 20 plus years, his whole livelihood of schooling and education and further education. That's who he is. That's what this practice is built off of. It is my honor to bring up the medical director, the founder, my cousin, Dr. Maher Abdullah.
Well, this is not something that you prepare for, and honestly, I have nothing prepared. I just want to say that I'm thankful that my staff, my patients, all the embryos are safe. And I'm also thankful that for the first responders and all they've done, risking their lives to save embryos, stressing that we all value life. As a reproductive endocrinologist in the United States, I assess my success with how many families I help go home with a child. And I'm very critical of myself. I look at my pregnancy rates and I always aim for higher. And that's really how I assess my performance. My return on the investment is babies. It's nothing else. So this material loss over there with destroyed buildings, all 4 of them will need to obviously be demolished and replaced. It doesn't mean much to me. Life is preserved, and that's really all I care about. We will rebuild, and I promise you we'll be on the same site, and it will be better than ever before. I have no doubt that we will bounce back better and than anything before, and we will succeed. I'm very appreciative of the City Council, the Mayor, and all they've done, helping us get a space right away. On Tuesday, we'll be up and running again. The past couple of weeks, one of the local physicians, Dr. El-Beghi, was gracious enough to allow me to use his office so that we can do basic ultrasounds. So we continued seeing patients, even on Monday morning after the Saturday attack. We served our patients, we did not stop. Our phone numbers were obviously, our phones were destroyed. We came up with ways to still help patients. We will return, and we will be better than ever before. I have no doubt. And this did not derail our project. Like Amr said, 2025 was our best year because we really invested in that building to create what we call a perfect vacuum, a perfect environment for the embryos. And that really showed in what happened, and that we had embryos still dividing in the incubators. 5 days later, we looked at those embryos, and through a miracle, 8 of them were perfect, what we call blastocysts, 4AA perfect embryos. I guarantee that the patient that has those embryos will go home with a child, personally guarantee it. This is a miracle. 4 buildings were destroyed, 1 building remained standing. Even the frames on the wall were not affected. How does that happen? It's a miracle for life. I'm grateful, I'm thankful. I can't think of anything more. We will rebuild, bounce back, come back better than ever before. Material damage does not affect me in any way, and I don't even think about it. As far as the perpetrator of this, I do forgive him. I wish his family the best, and we all pray for them. And I instructed my staff not to look back, but to look ahead. No one is allowed to talk about the person who did this. This is about forgiveness, this is about life, and we'll carry on. Thank you.
While I have members of the council and the city and Doctor up here, I know there were several questions from the media. If anybody has any questions, we will direct them to anybody here. If not, we will conclude the press conference. Are there any questions from the media? Yes, sir.
I wonder if the doctor could tell us, what have you learned about your staff in these last few days?
Well, first of all, I realized that they're very resilient, very hardworking. They're united as a family. This is not a group of people working together. We really act and behave like family members, and it really made a difference to me. And you know, when the first call I got, they said someone is deceased. So the first thing I thought about is that I lost an employee. Thank God it worked out.
Yes, ma'am.
The building was not intact. The IVF lab within the building was intact. Everything else is very much destroyed. And again, how does that happen? It's really a miracle. And then what really saved those embryos was the fire department, the police officers, and the FBI agent on the case. They really went in there and made sure that we have the electricity back, and they saved the embryos. So this was really teamwork where you see the embryos were in cryotanks. The cryotanks were preserved, and there were embryos in the incubator that needed electricity. And the FBI working with the police department and the fire department, Mr. Lott from the fire department and others, I can't think of names at this moment, they really made it happen where they saved those embryos. When I looked at those embryos and we took pictures of the best embryos all year, I knew that God is on the side of good.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I really have nothing to say about his ideology. I know what our ideology is. We don't even look back. We're for life. We're helping families have kids. Our success is in how many children we help bring to this world. I really don't care much about his ideology, and the last thing I want to do is promote it. It means nothing to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Have those embryos been moved out? Oh, thank you. Have those embryos been moved at all? I know you said the building and the incubators were okay, but have they been moved to where you guys are setting up now?
All right. So the embryos that were in the incubator were frozen in the cryo tanks, meaning they're secure. And you know, this is a process. It's not just like moving offices. There's a lot that goes with it. So working with Des Regional and the city and the mayor and the council members, all of them, we were able to quickly get space across the street, and that space will be ready within a couple of days, so that everything is there. So by Sunday, the cryo tanks will be moved. And by Tuesday, we'll be answering our phones and we'll continue with our mission.
All right, that's amazing. I have one more question.
Sure.
Following the blast, we saw several people's medical records, ultrasounds kind of flying up and down the street. Is there anything you guys are doing to make sure that those records haven't been compromised? We were turning a lot of them into the police. What are you guys doing to make sure that that information stays safe?
Fortunately for us, we have a lot of records on EMR, but you know, when patients come in for ultrasounds or quick services, there may be some paper still. The police has been returning just about anything they find, and some of the items were found far away from the location because this was obviously a powerful explosion. I think the lesson learned is to really limit paper, and it's really hard in our field in that patients come in for monitoring sometimes daily, but our focus from this point on will be to limit paper where it's all electronic, and obviously everything will change in terms of security and everything else. There will be a lot of changes.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Can you clarify, I think just as follow-up to her first question, question. So where are the frozen specimens right now? And when you were talking about the embryos that became blastocysts and you said they were looking really good, can you elaborate on just how many specimens were frozen
Sure.
that needed to that were saved that day?
Sure. We had 14 dividing embryos, and from the 14 dividing embryos, 8 became blastocysts, perfect blastocysts, which is consistent with our normal conversion from cleavage embryo to blastocyst embryo. And what really made this unusual is for me to see perfection. Usually out of 8 embryos, you may have 2 or 3 that are perfect. All of them were perfect, 4AA and 5AA embryos. I've never seen such a cohort of embryos. So this is all, a blessing. The embryos are secure in the cryo tanks in a secure location, and on Sunday, they'll be in our new office across the street.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, when you say across the street, do you mean at Desert Regional?
This is the El Mirador building, suites 301, 302, and 303. And it's being renovated now. They're working 24/7 to make it happen.
At the hospital.
It's not the hospital, it's a private, well, it's a medical building,
I see.
next to the hospital.
Got it.
Correct.
And then you also mentioned that, I imagine that that security will be changed moving forward. Could you talk a little bit about what you're thinking about in terms of security, either of the building or of the actual embryos?
Sure. Well, first of all, in terms of security in general, I mean, we have almost 28 cameras, so there's no corner that goes missed in that complex. We are four buildings, so there's a lot of space. But moving forward, anywhere we go, we will have personnel for security as well, present 24/7, not just cameras. The embryos are very well protected. There's the cryo tanks have like 10 cameras facing them. They're secured. They're chained. I mean, there's just so much security. We have 24/7 alarms and so on. So there isn't much that could be done with that. But I definitely want to add personnel to be present, and hopefully, guards present at the premises moving forward. I'm not going to change how I live. I'm not going to look, behind my back thinking, or worry. We're just going to have good security and live a normal life moving forward.
Yes, ma'am.
Quick question. I'm just trying to clarify the numbers of the cryogenic material. So I know you mentioned you had 8 embryos. Were they all from one family, or were those multiple families that were going through the blastocyst process at the time? And then I don't know, do you also store eggs and already frozen embryos and things like that that weren't going through the blastocyst process right
Correct.
now? I'm just wondering how many families had their hopes sort of in that building
Right.
at the time of this blast?
Sure. We have frozen eggs, frozen sperm, and frozen embryos in the thousands, and they were all cryopreserved. The cryo tanks were untouched. As far as the 14 embryos that we had, which were 8 converted to perfect blastocysts, that belonged to one family. Palm Springs has a large same-sex couples, and it happened to belong to that same community that we support. And the intent is to use even a surrogate with those embryos, but they're perfect, and I have no doubt that we will have success.
Thank goodness they got 8. My goodness. That's a lot in the fertility world.
That is correct. That is correct, yes. It was a miracle.
Doctor, have you personally spoken to the family of the suspect?
No, I did not.
Those 28 cameras, are those all being a part of the investigation now? Have those been
Correct.
turned over?
So all the cameras and the servers, there's obviously 5 of them, they're all with the FBI.
Your cousin stated you've been in the building just prior to the explosion happening. What kind of got you to leave the building and leave when you should have been there?
I was not in the building. I was supposed to be, for the past 3 months, I've been coming at 11 a.m. And the reason why I come at 11 a.m. is the mailman drops the mail at 11. So I come in and I do paperwork related to that mail, and then I take off for the weekend. I decided that day not to be here. I happened to be out of town, and I continued to see family members elsewhere. The mailman, however, did come at 11 a.m. and And I did see his car or truck still there. So he did come at 11, and fortunately for all of us, he's alive and well. I'm sorry?
Is he one of the injured?
I am not sure. I know his truck was there when this was taken place, so I'm not sure how exactly it happened. Yes.
It was mentioned that you had offered to
To pay for the funeral services of the suspect. Is that correct?
That is correct. I did as much diligence as I could, and I found a phone number that seems that it was the right number to, I believe it was the mother and the sister. I did leave a message, and we wish them all the best. Thank you all very much. Thank you to everybody here that came to support. Thank you for your continued support for our beautiful city, all the press, everybody here. Thank you all. God bless. Have a great weekend. Thank you.